Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for being here again today. My name is Charlotte. I am a psychic medium. I am clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and I do general readings. So if you're interested, you can check out everything below. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much. If you're returning, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a highly anticipated video about fairies. So I started talking about fairies, I think, probably within my first few videos here on YouTube. I do consider myself kind of like a fairy soul. From what I know about myself and throughout my own visions of my past lives, I've definitely had a few past lives. I feel like most recently that I've had a past life as a fairy. So I wanted to kind of tell you guys how you guys could know if you are a fairy or you have elemental energy or, you know, whatever like that. And yeah, let's just get started. So the first sign that you could be a fairy soul is if you are like obsessed with glitter or like small shiny things. I've always been obsessed with glitter. For some reason, the glitter is highly like, it's a high commodity in the fairy realm. I don't know what it is about glitter, but every person I know that has that I've seen that does have fairy energy, they all have the same feelings about glitter as I do. The second sign that you could be a fairy soul is, and this isn't just fairies, this is elves, fauns, even like leprechauns. Just an elemental soul is if you are extremely attracted to like grass, something about grass and like being in the forest, but mostly being in an open field of grass. There's something about grass that makes you just feel very much at home, very grounded, and comfortable, just being free in grass. Maybe something about you like really enjoying the smell of fresh cut grass. There's definitely a connection between you, grass, or if it's not grass, it could be trees or the forest. This is a very strong connection. So another sign that you could have, and a lot of fairy souls, elemental souls, are very intuitive. So another sign is you having a very childlike nature, always maybe drawing. The colors pink, purple, you're very drawn to these colors, and light green. Yeah, there's a lot of qualities about you that people would say are very childlike, not in an immature way, but in a very like your energy and your spirit is just very carefree and kind of like the tarot card, the Fool energy. People would say that your energy is kind of identical to that. So this is because in the fairy realm, the laws of being and the way the lifestyle is very different. Now, however, a lot of fairies are very mischievous. This isn't an angelic realm by far. Some fairies and elves, especially elves and fauns, are very mischievous, although fairies do live in a different dimension. I am so hesitant to build a fairy garden because I know there is good and bad with fairies. I've had past life memories of meeting somebody that I actually did meet in this life. And the mischievousness, the like, I don't want to say evilness because I don't really get that it's like an evil type of thing, but it's just a very mischievous energy that what I've seen in some elves and some fairies, they just have it and they're just, it's hard to explain because it's not like evil, it's just very mischievous and bad and mean-spirited and just bad. So, like I said, fairies and elementals, they're could be good and they could be bad. They're just different than us and they live on a different dimension. So, with that being said, another sign that you could be a fairy soul, if you really like tea, like you like drinking tea, it could be hot, it could be iced. There is just a really strong connection between you and nature. So drinking tea leaves and like tea and stuff like that, And it's not only just drinking, like maybe you like to do some type of herbal spells, or like you're really into herbalism, or you know, creating things from nature. That is another sign of being a fairy soul. When you know, in the fairy realm, we really only have to work with nature. So a lot of us that have reincarnated as an earth being, we would pick up a lot of things that we used to do in our past lives, from our fairy lives or elemental lives. We would pick up a lot of things with our hands. There's a lot of things our hands remember that our minds might not. And that's not only for the fairy realm, a lot of things that we were once good at in past lives, and I spoke about this in my last video a little bit, a lot of things in our past lives that we were good at, we really pick up easily in this life. So for example, well, I used 𝒸𝒽 as an example. In a past life, I did see that she did a lot of tribal dances, and she did a lot of tribal magic through the dances, where she's had more than one lifetime where she's been a dancer. So now she's still a dancer, and she's very good at it. She's very famous for it, and well known for her skill and her gift of dancing. So the same thing works for us when we reincarnate into Earth, or even if it's not our reincarnation, if we just had a past life that we were good at something and skilled at something, that will trickle down into these lives, into your current life. And that also has to do with psychic abilities. So there is a controversy over people saying that anybody can be psychic. And I do agree, but I do disagree. I believe in past lives, if you have accumulated enough consciousness and really like elevated your spiritual being, and you've spent a lot of time researching esoteric knowledge, or you've been in lives where you've kind of been put in a situation, it could have been involuntarily or voluntarily, where you would have had to do some type of spiritual work. Yes, this trickles down into your intuitive abilities that you have kept through today. It's kind of the same as fairy magic. So if you were a fairy or a faun or some type of elemental creature, you never lose that magic. This can kind of turn into, it could be a skill with working with plants, connecting with trees. Some people talk to trees, plants, whatever, and they'll live longer. It could trickle down as a connection between, some connection between you and Mother Gaia that we, you know, it's a connection that it comes from another life, and you just feel like you know this so well, and you know the skill that you're doing that's connecting you to the earth so well that it's just passed down from it's just been passed down from lifetimes up until now. So this goes with anything. If you've had numerous past lives correcting one skill, in this lifetime you are going to be very skilled at it, and it might just come out of the blue. It might just be talent, but for celebrities that I've seen and I've done readings on, I've seen that it really has come from past lives, numerous past lives of perfecting this skill. So another sign that you could be a fairy soul is you are an empath, and you are very sensitive to nature, meaning you can kind of feel when an earthquake is going to come, or something bad is going to happen, or you could just feel the feelings of like you feel the feelings of animals. So you might be a vegan or something like that. Also, what I see a lot is for starseeds. A lot of starseeds will really have an issue eating meat. The texture and consistency is unlike anything they probably have ever tasted before, saying that they have come from another planet, basically, where they're so advanced they don't eat anything that has been living. It's just very different. So I do see a lot of starseeds that really cannot digest meat properly, or they just don't like the taste of meat, or there's just something about meat that they really do not resonate with. The same thing goes for fairies. You could be very empathic and feel the feelings of animals, so you wouldn't really want to eat something that's already been dead, because you kind of feel the vibration, and it might hurt your it might hurt you in some way. It might just be emotionally, or you might just not want to take that vibration with you and eat something that's going to make you feel better, because you are so sensitive to it. So also about fairies, fauns, leprechauns, all elemental creatures, and I do want to include witches that do have some type of connection with Mother Gaia, that are into herbalism or something like that. I would consider all of these people elemental creatures who carry elemental power with them. So with these creatures, now that we are living in the 3D world, we do want to be careful if we accidentally invite them into our lives, or you know, not mess with them voluntarily, but when we do see a fairy circle, and it usually looks like three rocks that are, three rocks that are surrounding a field of grass or a tree or something like that, we do not want to step in them. These creatures are very mischievous, and they are very protective of their I don't want to say cults, but their communities. So we do not want to bother fairies. If you want to catch a fairy, I don't want to say catch a fairy because we can't really catch fairies. If we want to bring fairy energy into our life, I would suggest getting a fairy door, or building something that would really, like a fairy community within your garden or something, that would really bring them to be around you and surround you with that childlike energy. Because a lot of them do have really good energy, and they are nice to bring around your house. But this goes with a warning, be careful, because they are very mischievous creatures. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys like videos like this. I could definitely do more. I know somebody wanted a video on star seeds. I can definitely work on that. But yeah, let me know what kind of topic you would want next. All right, thanks guys.